Let's go. What's up, bro? We got a podcast in the metaverse, bro.
Yeah. Who knew that this is what it was all building up to through the entire first season? And now we are here kicking off season 2 with all of you guys, a live studio audience.
Let's go. Every Tuesday.
A podcast. We didn't even know what was happening. We're 15 episodes into this.
It seems to be helping and impacting a lot of people. We'll see you every Tuesday on the Well Metaverse podcast. Peace.
Easy. I don't know why I chuck deuces. Like I don't chuck deuces. What was that?
Hey. Oh.
The producer's here.
Yeah.
She got to go on stage.
I knew I needed to take a shower.
That's right. Yeah.
Everybody, first of all, if you have not met Lolly D, Lolly D is our amazing producer behind the scenes. So we're so glad that you're able to see her, because there's this verse that often says, man, it's the seemingly less important people who actually indeed are the most important.
Yeah.
So when you see the Well Metaverse, you see Aaron and I, but one of the most important people in terms of the Well Metaverse, the in studio, in world show, as well as this one of those individuals is Lolly D. So we appreciate you.
Thank
Indeed, Lolly D. And yeah, so, and you
Send
never
me back
know.
there now.
All right.
That is awesome.
Yeah, the last words to her before the show started were, "Yep, don't worry, you're going to be backstage the whole time." Yeah, you never know what you're going to get with
You
us.
never know.
Yeah, look at this. Zach the artist says, "Happy Tuesday."
Zach,
Incidentally,
what's up?
Tuesday is not just Well Metaverse live stream day; it is also Tuesday trivia. That Zach is our marquee host. Which actually this is a good time to talk about this a little bit. So we have been working towards really amplifying our Soapstone weekly shows, and one of the things that I've been thinking about doing, and we're starting to implement, is a thing called marquee hosts. So the people that have started the shows and worked it up and really poured themselves into it, we're going to be considering them marquee hosts, and their job is going to change a little bit. Not just are they going to be hosting, but they're going to be hosting and recruiting and equipping hosts for second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th instances, and we're going to make it happen. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. And Zach is certainly one of those marquee hosts. Sturminator says, "Hey guys."
Zach can what's up, Sturm? Zach can drive all instances at the same time by himself.
Yeah. If there's somebody that can figure out how to be in many places at once, it's
absolutely.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sturm too, man. Sturm is so doggone consistent.
Absolutely.
So diligent. We appreciate you, Sturm.
And Sturm's got a message for us all. Killer B is on Good Morning Soapstone tomorrow.
Killer B.
Yeah.
Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to mess with. Killer B's on the swarm.
Yeah, it might be a different Killer B. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I haven't asked him specifically about that, but Killer B, actually in Killer B Studios this past week, they had Mark Miller from Chick-fil-A come in and just hang out with 15 of us, and man.
I hate that I missed that. I so badly wanted to be there.
Yeah. It was good. I had conflicting things and was able to break away and join. That dude's just dropping pearls of wisdom from his many books that he's been New York Times bestseller author on and all that. It was good. And I got to ask him the question. I said, so, because he had just dropped a new book like a couple days before. And I'm like, man, you've got to be on this tour this book tour and event in addition to your grown-up job that you normally have?
Yeah.
What inspired you to come into the metaverse? And he said, lifelong learning. He said, I am a lifelong learner. And I saw this and I thought, I'm coming in to check it out.
That's great. That is great. Speaking of lifelong learning, is there anything that you're trying to do, any new thing that you're trying to learn outside of the metaverse? Or
Oh,
maybe
man.
it could be inside, because sometimes for some it's learning how to code or learning how to build.
What am I, man? You just throw them right out there. Those questions. What am so one thing that I have been recently kind of inspired to learn is more and more about this connection between laughter and health. Like that, man, that's intriguing stuff.
It is. Which my favorite episode or my favorite clip that we produced from this is when you're talking about the benefits of laughter.
So on Friday, just this past Friday, the reason I wasn't able to be at Melwetaverse, I almost said that's no good. That's I don't know what that is, but I was at the Laughter Symposium, the Laugh Fest Laughter Symposium, and a couple of great doctors came in talking about. Actually, let me pull my notes up from that.
Pull up the notes.
I don't have a whole lot to share because, to tell you the truth, both of the doctors that were there, we're gonna get them into the metaverse and get them on the show because they've just got, like, it's so much better to hear it from them. But Dr. Cynthia Shelby Lane was one of the doctors that spoke. She's out of Detroit, Michigan, and just an exceptional person. Laughter RX Symposium. And then Dr. Jason Dibble, who is a good friend of mine.
Jason Earls. I was.
Oh, yeah. You're like, hey. But Dr. Jason Dibble, for his stuff. All right. We're going to turn to the his was on emotion, the brain impact of laughter and emotion, and so his was all about emotion, but he said something about if a tree falls in the woods, does it make a sound? He was asking those deep questions. So I'd love to hear from the people in the audience and watching the live stream. If a tree falls in the woods, does it make a sound? Anybody guess yes or no?
Hold on, I'm actually doing some show aids.
Oh, excellent.
Wow, my day just went from great to absolutely perfect.
Wow.
Did you hear that?
Was that Alexa?
Yeah. I don't know what I said, but the automated AI over in the corner heard me, and apparently she really liked what I said, because she said her day just went from.
I didn't spell check this.
Yeah. If a tree falls in the woods. Yeah.
I did. I left the S off.
Okay, so we got some answers here.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'll
let you drive.
All right. Melina says yes, it does, and Sturm says yes, it does, but we're not there to hear it. Alma says yes, it does. Okay, this is pretty one-sided here. Zach says yes, it does. Make a sound. Also vibrates to other trees and roots. Boy, he's going deep on it. Yeah. Yeah. So my answer was the same. What's your answer, Jason?
So my question is, how can you prove it? And how does one define sound?
There is the question. Yeah.
So,
look at this. Alma says, there's this verse for we walk by faith.
I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. Yeah, walk not by sight, but notice not by sound.
Yeah. So come to find out, there is a scientific definition of sound. And in order for something to make a sound, there has to be a receiver. So, yeah, you sniffed that out, Jason. So yeah, I was one of the 90% of people that raised our hands and said, yeah, for sure it makes a sound. And it doesn't, because if there's not someone if there's not an ear to detect the fluctuation in air pressure, and then to process that to a brain, it is not a sound. It is a vibration in airs. It's sound waves, but it's not a sound.
Unless you have a GoPro
Yeah, right. If you record
set
it,
up, one of those little
so there you go.
nature cams.
Yeah, if you've got a something that's set up to record it, does that make a sound? Really, no, because it just records the sound wave, and then when you play it back, that makes a sound.
So good.
Yeah, that kind of blew my mind. And what he was saying is, emotion. When we experience emotion, it's not purely because of what happens in the physical world. It's what happens in the physical world, and then the way we receive that, and then the way that our brain processes it. So laughter is a weird one. It's wild the way that laughter works. But this was another thing that he said that completely blew my mind. He said that emotion, fear is a good one to look at here. When we
Okay.
experience fear, that emotion is not reactive. It's not in response to what just happened. What it actually is it's predictive. It's in anticipation of what we think might happen.
I would agree. Dude, absolutely. And when you're overcome, especially if you live in this imaginary place, you're always thinking about what might as opposed to what actually is or what is going to. And so you become so enamored by the potential of danger that you become paralyzed by that.
That's exactly what the ramifications of what he was talking about is. Yeah.
Wow,
And there's a lot more of it that's under our control than we give credit to.
that's good.
There's no fears that are, and I mean, I've heard people say something different than this, but according to the research he was citing, is there's no fears that are ingrained in us. Like,
Mm,
and again, I've heard conflicting stuff with that. I've heard that babies are born with the fear of falling, and he was saying that that's not the fear. The emotion of fear isn't what happens. Now we do have ingrained reactions to things to where we'll flee, we'll want to flee, and maybe that's what that falls under. But yeah, the feeling of fear and that's something that we learn and construct. That okay, if I hear this, this is what's gonna happen, or this is what
yeah,
could happen. So now I have that sometimes paralyzing feeling of fear.
right. Yeah, I would say babies probably have the fear of just like going down a canal, maybe, because most of them when they do that, it's like, yeah,
Yeah,
like
right.
that
Yeah,
experience there, like, "Oh, this is about to happen now."
yeah.
Until-
At the end of that whole process, there,
yeah,
man, if any baby comes out with all this going on, like that, oh man, that's good stuff. Oh, here's a little bit of insight from the crowd. Uh, Causes one to fight, flight, or face the fears. Yeah, indeed, yeah. That's good stuff. But that again, that blew my mind. And then another thing that was like probably my biggest takeaway from this is laughter. It'll transcend humor. So laughter and humor are not necessarily connected 100% of the time. They are oftentimes, but not 100% of the time. And when we laugh, the number one thing that it communicates is that we are not enemies.
We're not what?
We're not enemies.
Oh,
So
good.
we can be nervous or scared and laugh, and what we're doing is communicating that we're not enemies. And think about this, Jason, like when we're on stage and we start dropping those first couple punchlines and the audience laughs, there's just a soothing feeling that comes over us, and what we're receiving and recognizing is, hey, we're not enemies.
That's so good, man. That would explain some of the race work that I do when I'm bringing comedy in there. Actually, it helps with that process. Nothing works. I think that's why a lot of people invite me to talk about race conversations or race conflict, because I have this ability to make people laugh in the midst of having the tough conversations.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see the thing being diffused. But if a person cannot laugh, especially in those conversations, I'm like, yep,
Yeah.
we've got some prejudices going on right here, you know.
Hey, I'm laughing. No, it's that makes sense. I hadn't thought about it on that flip side, but when we're communicating to an audience and we make an attempt to help them laugh and they don't laugh, it communicates the opposite to us, doesn't it?
Yeah,
We are enemies.
So there are two phrases that I'll bring together as I give an example about that. So two sayings. One, laughter is the closest distance between two strangers.
Hey, Victor Borg.
Yep. And a fart is an international language.
Dude, I mean, how often do I take a sip of anything during this? Not that often. And you got to time that right there. Like we almost had our first live caught spit take.
Right. So when a person farts and somebody, like the enemy of a fart, does not laugh.
Which is my nose. My nose
Right.
has never laughed.
But if someone lets one go and you realize that you're safe around a person, they can laugh. If they don't, you're like, yep.
That's
yeah,
right. That's right.
You're not who I
Yeah.
thought you were.
Yeah. Oh, Sturm has some words of wisdom for us. Never trust a fart. Yeah.
That term comes from experience right there. I don't know.
Yeah. Never trust a fart further than you can throw it.
That's
Yeah.
Poots are like people. You can't trust them all, especially the quiet ones.
Oh, the quiet one. That's you're spitting truth right now. Zach says, did you guys know that laughter in fear or not actually controlled by the same part of the brain? Yeah. So you know what, Zach? A lot of the existing science that's out there about this part of the brain does this and this part of the brain does that. What they're finding now is that it's all BS. That when they actually do scans,
Brainstem BS.
brainstem, yeah, it's all brainstem. It's bull sugar.
Welcome to the 5th grade version of Metaverse today, everybody.
Right. Yeah.
Farts, substitute words.
That's right.
Yep. Shut the front door, please. Shut the front door.
Yeah. But what they do when they put them into the scans is they're seeing that the active parts of the brain it's all over, and for different people it's different places. So they've started to rethink that whole science on this part of the brain does specifically this, and that might be the majority, but it's not universal. And one phrase that Jason Dibble said over and over during his presentation was that in the process of science, when you get results that contradict your theory, you need a new theory. It's
That's right.
not bad science when the results don't line up. It's part of the process, and that you need some more. Oh, here's some more.
Speaking of a theory,
So yeah, yeah.
that is great.
A fart. I feel like this needs to be read with like an old English accent, but a fart also is a form of blowing a kiss. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And in many ways, it might be much more meaningful because it's oftentimes unintentional and some.
Yeah, or like one of my kids said, they were like that. I was like to terms like how you can't trust them. One of my kids, let one go, but it came with some substance, and I was like, "Why did you soil your pants like that?" I didn't. That's just brown gas, So
My mom growing up, if we had a cough, we either had a dry cough or we had a productive cough. And
yeah,
nowadays, like the productive farts are the ones that I don't care for.
that's hysterical. Well, should have had a pull up.
Yeah, we're getting into the serious stuff
Yeah,
here. Yeah.
gotta
Oh,
recalculate.
oh,
Yes,
Lolly D from backstage is chiming in. One of the very important things that Lolly D does.
lolly doo doo. That's
Oh,
it.
oh, this keeps us on track. And I
Yeah.
know today we've got a hard stop at 12:20, 12:25. So we got a couple minutes left. Anybody watching in the comments area that wants to chime in? Any questions? Any fart jokes? Anything?
Hey, I got a question. So you say that Mark Zuckerberg made an announcement today. I'd love to hear it with the rest of our time if we
Yeah,
can.
I'd love to share on that. I just read it through once briefly, but on all like he's kind of pivoted to where the first place that he does announcements is on his social media feed, which is through Messenger and through Facebook and I'm sure he's on some of those other ones like Instagram and
Yeah.
but he's kind of pivoted to where he's making big company-wide announcements on those platforms. So I subscribe to that, and a lot of people know that there has been a little bit of uncertainty in the world of Meta because it's been announced that there's some restructuring coming, and he put together a very very nice letter, like really lending some transparency to where he's at in his thought process, what that means, and there were a couple of takeaways that I got from there. And one was the metaverse and thereby Horizon Worlds is still core to their vision of the future. So while they are going through and they're going to be trimming off some not necessarily unprofitable, but trimming off some of the products that are not the most profitable. The metaverse is one that's going to be here to stay, which is good because that's kind of where we hang out and live. So
It's called pruning.
it's called pruning.
Some
Absolutely.
Sometimes in the book Necessary Endings, Henry Cloud talks about like sometimes in an organization there are things there are arms of our organization that can be doing okay or can be doing good, but because they're not doing great or meeting contributing to the overarching goal and the mission, it's sucking away resources from the other things that really can make the organization thrive.
Mm-hmm.
And so the pruning takes it's hard decisions where we cut something
Mm-hmm.
and we let it and then we take those resources going to that branch
Mm-hmm.
and put it towards others.
Yeah. Yeah. And they've already made some announcements of what those things are going to be. Like one is their whole cryptocurrency push. They were looking at incorporating blockchain stuff into Instagram and having that kind of as a marketplace for that type of stuff. They've backed completely off of that. That's one of the things that has been pruned, and there's a lot more in that public statement that anybody could find. I'd encourage you, if you're vested at all in the metaverse or in Horizon Worlds or with Meta, to go ahead and find that, track that down, and give it a read, because he's talking about tough stuff. He's talking about another trimming of the organization that will probably affect maybe 10-11% of the employees. And then he's talking about flattening the organization, but he does it in such a way that you can grasp the vision and the purpose behind it. And I was really good to see. I was glad to hear that. A link. You're looking at? Do you have a link by any chance, Jason, to that?
Let me see. See if I can see it right quick.
All right. Every time I try to pull stuff up on my my computer side screen here, it gets all squirrely. But I'll post a link in Team Soapstone. And oh wait, I see the private chat.
Got it.
Is this? Oh, all right. So Jason's got the link.
Let me see. This is going. Maybe I should make a Bitly link, but right quick. But if you want it, people,
can you put it? Oh, you probably can't just put it in the comment. Oh, there it is, right there. All right.
Take a picture of it with your phone. Screenshot it.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, that's not clickable. Anyway, you guys can find it. Just search Mark Zuckerberg Year of Efficiency.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? You're on. I think you're. Should I add you to the stream from your other camera?
Can I what?
I think. All right. We're boomering out over here too, but.
What?
Huh?
What do I do?
Nobody in the audience has a link. Come on, guys. You see us struggling?
Hold on. Let me go on Facebook. But still, they're not going to be able to.
Yeah.
They won't be able to click the comment if we pull it up.
All right. Hold on. I'm going to try it one more time here.
Facebook. That's funny. I'm gonna tell you how you know you also.
Okay, here it is.
When you start talking through what you're doing on social media. Okay, let me open up Facebook here and
I just shared it.
Who did?
I shared it on my. This is the most entertaining part of the show. I'm certain of it.
There's a link right there.
You got it?
Yep.
Yeah, so this is so interesting. It will only it won't allow me to copy the link. It'll just allow me to share it. So that is what it is. Everybody, you got to find it on your own. It's
just
a puzzle
Google
game.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, Year of Efficiency. You'll be able to find it there.
The fact that we just took this time to try to tell everybody how to find the link shows our
that was the longest part of our show was being ineffective in posting the link.
Talk about efficiency.
Yeah. Our producer, Lolly, we got to get you with access to all the tools so that you can pop those links. Oh, she's backstage nodding. Yep.
Actually, she has access to all the tools.
Oh yeah.
She's just, her computer is a boomer. Actually, her computer might be silent generation.
All right, we're bringing her out to end the show.
Yeah, you got to get rid of that jitterbug that you have.
Yeah. Oh, you're muted. You're muted. Yeah. That jitterbug
you have
phone.
to warn me. I could be like, eating a pizza or something.
I looked. I can see you backstage. So
Yeah, like this.
yeah, I looked. Yeah, yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, we're only 4 minutes over, Jason.
Sweet.
So I think we call it a day. You guys are all so very important.
Do you
Appreciate
want
you all.
do
Go
you
ahead,
want to
Lolly.
mention, do you want to mention Friday's guest?
You know what? Would you do us the honors of mentioning Friday's guest?
Sure. Friday we're going to have Paige Danzinger on the show,
Yeah.
and if you don't know who she is, she's very, very big on women's issues in Horizons. She runs the Women's Hub. She's got an endless resume, which she's going to tell us about later. But definitely very community-minded lady. Works very, very hard in the metaverse, and definitely somebody that has all kinds of information and connections. And you don't want to miss that one. It's going to be great on Friday. So I'm excited about
Indeed.
having her.
Indeed. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for everything. We'll see you Friday. We'll see you tonight at trivia. Tomorrow at Good Morning Soapstone. Who's your guest for Good Morning Soapstone?
Killer B.
Killer B.
Yes, and he's awesome, and I'm sure you've all seen him. He's got his own talk show and podcast, and he's quite connected in the metaverse as well. Does a lot of interviews with some real world people, musicians and such. So isn't he the one who had the interview with the Chick-fil-A?
Yep. It was Mark Miller from Chick-fil-A. Yeah.
Should be fun on Good Morning Soapstone tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that too.
He also he's going to be playing a big role with the Soapstone moving forward as well. Yeah. And you guys will talk about that a bit tomorrow, I'm sure. And then we'll have him on, at least one of these shows, maybe a regular contributor to this show as well. So,
perfect.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. We will see you soon. And thanks, Lolly, for all you do.
Thank you. Bye-bye.